What is up, everybody? Here with the 49th shelf of my action movie collection. Starting with Transporter 2 with Jason Statham. I like the first two Transporter movies. This one seemed a little bit more polished than that one did, just because it was more Hollywood instead of a foreign release. But yeah, definitely the visuals, martial arts, action was absolutely amazing in this movie, just like they are in almost every Jason Statham action movie, so worth checking out for sure. Then we have Transporter 3 from the director of Taken 3 and Taken 2, Oliver Megaton. This one was okay. It didn't feel as Transporter-ish as the first two did. It felt a lot different. It was still okay, just not as good as the other two, so it's worth checking out if you're a Jason Statham fan. Then we have The Sum of All Fears with Ben Affleck and Morgan Freeman. Phenomenal movie. Ben Affleck made a great Jack Ryan. Would have kind of liked to have seen him do a sequel to these movies or another Jack Ryan movie. Morgan Freeman did great as well. I mean, just all in all, this is probably the best Jack Ryan movie I've seen, which is why I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get to see another one. So, then we have a classic, Gladiator. Definitely I'll have to upgrade this to 4K at some point here. But probably Ridley Scott's best work right here. Absolutely phenomenal. Deserved every award it ever got. Not too excited that they're making a sequel because, that usually always ruins movies, especially this far later when it wasn't, part of the plan. Not everything is Top Gun Maverick, so it makes you kind of nervous that they're going to ruin it. So, then we've got Pearl Harbor. A lot of people hate on this movie, and I don't know why. I mean, it's not really about the attack on Pearl Harbor itself as much as the love triangle between these three set in World War II times and in Pearl Harbor during the time of the attack. Michael Bay did a great job making the attack look amazing, but it wasn't the main focal point of the movie, and I think that's why people were upset with this movie. But visually, it was on par. It was amazing. Then we have Nicolas Cage and Snake Eyes. Love these types of movies where you really, it shows you a little bit every so often and you don't know what's 100% going on until the very end. Absolutely love movies like that. The cast is amazing in this movie, the setting. Nothing bad to say here. And then, of course, we've got Michael Bay's classic Bad Boys. Phenomenal movie. I love watching this movie. You're gonna have to upgrade this to 4K. I don't know if there is a 4K of Bad Boys. I know there is for Bad Boys for Life, but not for this one. At least not that I know of. If there is, let me know. Then we've got Bad Boys 2, which was even better. Felt bigger than the first one. Love these. These are so fun to watch. They got the cheese and the seriousness and the comedy all rolled into one. Plus the over-the-top action from Michael Bay. I wish Michael Bay would direct they already filmed the fourth one and he didn't direct it. I wish he would come back to this franchise for the final outing. But love these movies. Again, going to have to get this on 4K if it's available. Then we have Tears of the Sun with Bruce Willis. Some of Bruce Willis's best work here. Just absolutely phenomenal. I guess Tears of the Sun was going to be the name for a Die Hard movie, and the studio bought the name Tears of the Sun for this movie from Bruce Willis. But absolutely phenomenal movie, worth checking out if you haven't seen it. Then we have Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. What can you say that's bad about these movies? I mean, the visuals, especially for their time, early 2000s, look like they were made today. So, I mean, and the casting's phenomenal. So many big actors. The scope of the movie felt huge. They did this right. I cannot hate on this movie whatsoever. Then we've got my favorite of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Two Towers. The final battle for the Battle of Helm's Deep was some of the best in movie history I've ever seen. I mean, you were hooked for sure. Then we have Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. This movie was longer, and it was still good, don't get me wrong. But, you know, this was the first movie I'd ever seen that was over 3 hours long. So it made it hard to kind of sit still after, you know, 2.5 hours in the theater, knowing like, oh shit, I still got like an hour left or more. So, I mean, that kind of defeated you. But, I mean, the movie was amazing. When you're watching it at home, it's different for sure. And I absolutely love it. Then we have Wanted with James McAvoy, Morgan Freeman, and Angelina Jolie. This was a pretty solid action flick, and it was way different than other action movies out there, which is probably one of the reasons I liked it. The director made a great job of making it look and feel different as well. So worth checking out for sure. Then we have Law Abiding Citizen. Gerard Butler and Jamie Foxx do phenomenal bouncing off each other in this movie. Gerard Butler takes it to a whole nother level as far as parenting grief and what he's going to do about it. I mean, if you haven't seen this, you've been living under a rock and need to check it out. Then we have Street Kings with Keanu Reeves. Another amazing cast. Another great skewed character story. David Ayer does a great job. You know, he did this right after he did Training Day and all that. This was it, 2006, I think? 2008. But yeah, so not far after Training Day. But fun watch. Keanu does a great job in this movie. So does Chris Evans, believe it or not. Then we have Transformers. Loved the first one here. This is a great movie. I went and saw this in the theaters. Loved it. Never seen a movie like it, which made it awesome and fun to watch. Didn't know if they were going to be able to pull it off, but Michael Bay did. So very happy with this movie. Then we have Revenge of the Fallen. It took the seriousness of the first one and turned it into an extreme comedy. And that's the one thing with some of these sequels is they just seem to skew more towards the comedy when it should be more serious, in my opinion, you know, robots invading Earth. So, I mean, that kind of killed this movie for me to where I didn't enjoy it that much. Then we have the Da Vinci Code. Great watch. Never read the book. I know a lot of people always are super one way or the other with these types of movies because it's religious overtones and all that type of stuff. But a fun watch just for an adventure movie. Then we have Angels and Demons, which I actually enjoyed more than the Da Vinci Code. Great story. And again, you know, people skew one way or the other, but Ron Howard made these movies look like $1 million. Tom Hanks did great as well. I'm not the biggest Tom Hanks fan, but I did like him in these movies. Then we have Hitman with Timothy Olyphant from Justified. I wish they would have made a sequel to this movie. I absolutely love this movie. Haven't seen Agent 47 or whatever that one was, the one they made without bringing him back. But I did love this one. And I thought he did a great job in the lead role. And I wish they would have continued it, but they didn't. Which is sad because I love watching this movie. I'm going to have to upgrade this as well sooner or later here. Then we have The Jackal with Bruce Willis and Richard Gere. You know, this is one of those underrated Bruce Willis movies where he's actually the bad guy. And he does phenomenal as the bad guy. And Richard Gere, you know, does phenomenal as the good guy in this. They work so well together. This movie is super intense. Worth checking out for sure. Even if you're a Bruce Willis fan and never seen him as the villain, you need to check this out. Then we have Deception with Hugh Jackman, Ewan McGregor, and Michelle Williams. Again, I love these movies where it unveils a little bit at a time and you don't know what's going on to the very end, and that's exactly what this movie is. So I don't want to ruin it for you or anything, but worth a watch if you like movies like that. Then we have Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie, the one that made her, movie that made her huge, I guess you can say. Well, Gone in 60 Seconds, I think she did right before this one. But yeah, she was made for this role. She's absolutely phenomenal. I do like the girl they replaced her with, you know, like 20 years later. Alicia Vanderkova or whatever her name is. But they haven't made a sequel to that one yet either. So, but yeah, this is a great movie. And then we have Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life. And this is a fun watch. Felt bigger than the first one. A lot more adventure. But yeah, that does it for this shelf. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe. Your support is much appreciated. I'm also over on Letterboxd. The link to that is over in the profile description of this channel. Otherwise, until next time, have a good one, guys.